This is Horizon's FD90. It's been a very popular boat for Horizon, but the reason I want to show you this particularly is because they were debuting a couple of new ideas on this one, which I think are really interesting. So I'm going to take you on board. We are going to do the absolute full tour on this one, but there's a couple of things I want to show you in particular and see what you think, because I think they've got some interesting concepts. So we're going to step on here. We've got the high-low platform. All of this we're going to look at, crew areas, engine areas, all of that. We're going to do it all, but I want to take you inside first of all. We'll come back to that towards the end of the tour. As I say, we are going to go into everything. This then is the cockpit area. You've got this wonderful lounging area here. It's a really nice space as people come onto the boat to welcome people. You've got the overhang here, so it's nice and shaded. Yeah, that's a nice space. And then bar area is over here. So this is things like your sink and your fridge and all that kind of stuff, shelving in that one. Fridge then will be, I've no doubt, ice maker there, fridge is there, and storage here. We've got access down to the sides. We're going to come down through here. These are wind jammer doors, so the wind tends to blow through here and into this area. Those close across, stop it from ruffling your bouffant. Similar deal on that side, and in fact you can see that's access back down to that aft area that we saw. I will show you that again as we go on round. And I'll also show you these stairs up here because we were going to see those from further up. We probably won't go down them. You can have a TV that hinges down out of the ceiling. That's what that moulding there is for. And then this is the interior. Now you need to remember this is a 90-foot yacht because Horizon are very, very good at getting a huge amount of volume into their yachts. And this is a perfect example of that. A space that you've got in here. There is a day heads and they've positioned it back here, which I think is neat because it means that from the cockpit you don't have to traipse right through here to one further forward. It's right there on the inside of the door. TV, soundbar, all that kind of stuff. Love these windows that drop right down, so they're pretty much the full height there. When I say drop right down, I don't mean they literally retract. I said that once, people said, where do they go to? No, I mean they just anyway, you know what I mean. But look how much footprint there is here. And what they've done with this one, this is one of the things I want to talk to you about, is normally the galley area has kind of bulkheads that go around with opening sections. So you can always open this out, but on this one they've kept it completely open. They've just got this central island there. You have got that screen you can bring up if you want to, but generally speaking the idea of this is to make this a bit of a party zone. People can be here chatting, people can be sat here. It's just a really great place to be. People are getting very casual with the way these boats are used, and they want this sort of thing these days. They don't want it formal, they want to just kick back, relax, and have a good time on board. I really like the fact that you've got this finish here, and these are drawers, not drawers, cupboards even, across here, but they've mirrored it with the fridges across there, so that all just tones in nicely as you look on through. You can still have the bulkheads if you want them, and the layout of this then is still roughly similar, but as I say, this is what people are tending to go for now, is the more open plan layouts, and so that's what they've done here. Cooking facilities, of course, a lot of refrigeration. And then, you know, trash compactor and drawers and dishwasher and all that kind of stuff. But you see what I mean, how this just flows right the way through. That is brilliant. We've got steps up and we've got steps down. We're going to do both of those, but we're going to go forward first of all because this is the owner's cabin. It's a main deck owner cabin, so you don't always get on a 90-foot yacht. Wardrobes as we come in, really good size. Dressing area, or dressing table I should say, is down here. And yeah, look at this. I love the Shea lounge there. Imagine sitting there with the proverbial good book, but the view out over the side, just magnificent. And look at where they've done these headboards, because all this stuff is very customizable. The woodwork, you know, this has got the modern grey wood, but if you wanted the sort of the slightly more classic look, of course they'll do it for you. If you want the satin finish or the high gloss finish, all that sort of stuff, it's all up to owner specification. But this now has become very, very popular. All this is the ensuite. So what we've got here is the toilet and the sink, storage, that kind of stuff. And if we reverse across, we'll find another one on this side. And these then access this massive, absolutely massive central shower. Brilliant. That's very, very nice. More storage space in places like this, drawers down there as well, as you can see. And these are pocket doors, so you can slide these across, of course, as you would hope, for privacy. Superb. That's a nice cabin, isn't it? Okay, plenty more to show you. The size of these windows, just magnificent. All right, back out around here. We're going to head down next. Love these floating stairs. Side access here will come down the outside of this, so you'll see this when I point out that's the way back in to the galley area. That's what I'm talking about. And then if you come down here, this is another very interesting area in terms of the way that, again, the functionality of these boats is starting to change a little bit. So, 2 cabins back here, both are really good size. Double cabins, wardrobes right across this bulkhead here. Pocket doors again, so these doors slide out of the bulkhead to close that off. And then in here, so this closes off, but then this closes off in addition. For the loo and the sink, and then the shower over on that side. AV equipment, of course, but yeah, that's a nice spacious cabin. And if we cross over, we will discover very similar deal, very similar. Wardrobes all the way down here. Got the big hull windows, the circular sections are opening sections. We've got the bedside tables, of course. And again, pocket doors to close this off, and then a frosted door separate to that for that one. Okay, but this is what's interesting, because almost always on this size of boat and this kind of layout, you will have 4 cabins down here. And you can have 4 cabins down here. That is not a problem, sir. That can be done. But this boat doesn't have it. This boat uses this area as a massive utility area. And again, we're coming back to the fact that people are recognizing that they're not cruising with 8 people all the time. Quite often it'll be a couple with friends joining them, family joining them. They don't need that much space. And so to use this as a utility area, which they find far more useful, because if you're doing laundry and that kind of thing, well then it's all right here. That is working for people. What actually happened was they had a customer who said, I don't want that 4th cabin, I want a utility area. They built it for him, or her, I'm not sure, and showed the boat at a boat show, and so many people came on and said, do you know what, actually I really like that they decided to build a few more like it. It is owner specification. If you want to have the traditional cabin here, not a problem. And you can see how the ensuite to this cabin is still here, and in fact there's a Pullman berth here. So you can use this as an additional overflow. If you've got somebody staying, you think, oh, we just need one more bed for somebody. Well, you've got more than just one more bed, you've got an entire cabin, albeit it's obviously a little more basic than you would normally find. So in here you've still got your loo, you've still got your separate shower. It's a fully functional cabin. It's just that it's being given over to a utility space, because that is suiting how people are using these boats these days. But if you want 4th cabin, not a problem, can be done. That one there is just storage, so great for housekeeping. And then forward again, this is very impressive. This is the VIP guest cabin, and this really is owner cabin standard. So we've got heads in here, shower, really great size shower in behind there. Mirror wave there, because I don't think we've had one. And check this out. Look at the size of this. As I say, if you'd not seen the owner's cabin, you'd be inclined to think that this was it. It's excellent. And all this in a 90-foot boat. Just brilliant. Very, very pleasing. AV equipment, of course, storage, of course, usual kind of stuff. There must be wardrobes in here somewhere, and there are. Here we go. Seek and ye shall find. There we go, there and there. Like that. So that's the lower deck. So now we need to head up. But it's interesting, isn't it, to go for a 3 cabin and a big utility. I'm very keen to hear what people's thoughts are on that. But I think it does speak of the way that people are using these yachts more now. They are a less formal experience with the younger buyers, definitely. Okay, hello there. I'm just going to sneak past you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go up here out of your way. Thank you. And this is the other change. So what a lot of these boats would have is a sky lounge up here. What this has got is they brought this bulkhead right forward, and rather than having a lounge area here, they've made that a big outdoor space. And that is because, I'll just go out of this chump's way a little bit. Is he coming through? No, he's not. Okay. And that is because a lot of these boats get used in places like Bahamas, and people are prizing outdoor space rather than wanting to be inside all the time. So we do still have a day head for this upper deck area. We've got this magnificent wheelhouse arrangement. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Forward sloping windscreens, as all Horizons tend to have. And then this is your usual bow and stern thrusters and multifunction displays and engine controls. And wheel, obviously, work that one out for yourself, I'm sure. But good visibility with these forward sloping screens. Look at this. Superb. There's side access straight out of here. Very helpful when you're manoeuvring. You want to take a look down the side of the boat. But yeah, this has changed. And again, you know, if you don't want this, they'll do it the traditional way. But they are finding that people are saying, do you know what? I don't want two big indoor lounges. What I want is a nice sheltered space where we can kick back and relax, but we're outdoors. You know, we don't go boating to sit inside. And I think it's brilliant the way that this boat is reacting to that change in use. So, dining table here, of course you can put directors' chairs around here if you want to. You can fold this up if you're just having a little bit of a drink and you don't want to have that out, then those extension pieces slide away and this just folds flat. And look at this bar area. What a wonderful place this is on a nice day. Of course it's quite sheltered here because you've got the sides and you've got this area here, so it's sheltered from the wind. There's another TV that drops out of here, and then the bar area, so wine cooler for example. That one is an ice maker, all that kind of stuff, sink in the corner. A very, very nice social space. Again, you know, think of it as a party boat. Imagine you've got, you know, a couple of dozen of your friends on here. What a great place to chill out and relax. And probably more than that, actually, wouldn't it? A couple of dozen, you get a lot more than that on. You see this chap here, you can wind this table up and down, so if you want to bring that down and infill it to make that into a big day bed, then you can do. Barbecue here, this is interesting, it doesn't look like that lid would close, does it? But it does, because that barbecue's on a crank. So you can wind that down and it can disappear, which, considering these tend to get a bit scruffy over time, is not a bad thing. That one there is a thing. I don't know, tray. And then again, a wonderful area. You've got the bimini over here for a bit of shade. But it's just a boat. This is what I feel about this boat. This is a boat that you want to kick your shoes off and put your feet up. And this exemplifies that. I think that's fantastic. So we're up on the upper deck. We came on down there, and that's where we're going next, but not after having a loop around here, because as I promised, it's access to all areas. And remember when we came on, I said there's a staircase that goes up to the upper deck on the outside. We're not going to be going up and down that one, but just so you know where it is, well, this is the other end of it. So that takes you down to the cockpit. As I say, that's the bathing platform where we came on. We'll head forward. I mentioned the side opening doors next to the helm. They're here, so you've got this area that extends out to give the captain a really great view down the side of the yacht. You can imagine if you're moving to somewhere like this how useful that is. And then again, all of these areas are catered for, so they've all got sinks, and you've got refrigeration. I think that's over there if I remember rightly. So yeah, you don't have to go far for refreshments. And again, just another wonderful social space. Can you imagine just how much fun you can have with all your friends and all your family on a yacht like this? Just fantastic. And as I say, we've got to remember, I keep coming back to it, but it's very much a Horizon thing, that this is a 90-foot yacht, because it feels like it's up over 100 feet, doesn't it? Look how substantial that is. Brilliant. Let's press on. More to look at. So we're going to come back down this side. That is, of course, the helm station. That's those forward sloping windows that we were looking through. And this time we're going to come down here. I want to show you down into that utility room that's at the back. And also I want to show you, of course, the engine space. And I want to show you the crew cabins. Now that door there is the one that goes back in by the galley. So that's just there. And then if we come right on down, there are a couple of routes down to here. Actually, we can go down the steps and in through that back door that we saw that's all lifted up, but we can also go this way. So when that door is closed and you're at sea, you've still got a route down, and that's here. So So this is a good way to go. And what we've got here then is the crew area. This again, for a 90 footer is brilliant because you've got 2 crew cabins, but both of them are en suite. And they're proper en suites with separate shower areas. How nice is that? You just don't normally see that on a sub 100 foot yacht. You really don't. So that's one, and then there's another one straight across here. Similar deal. In fact, this can be a double bed if you want to, or you can use it as bunk beds. I guess if you're really friendly, you could use all 3, but anyway, probably not. And again, look at this. Proper ensuite, separate shower area, just brilliant. Very, very nice indeed. And then we're going to go forward now. That's back out onto that aft area. I am going to show you that, but I want to show you the engines. We've got refrigeration down here. We've got this little cooking area, so the hob and the oven and the sink. TV in here. Superb. All right, let's go in here. As spacious as the rest of the yacht. You know, you look at all the volume that you've got inside and think, well, have they squeezed the engine room to get all that in? No. These are Caterpillar engines. They're C32As. They are 1,900 horsepower each. This boat is brand spanking new, and it shows. Look at this. How lovely. You're looking at about 20 knots out of this, which it's a fast displacement boat. It's not a planing boat. So it's not designed for high performance, but nonetheless 20 knots out of displacement boat, that is cracking on. You can cruise at 17.5, or you can drop it right back to about 10 knots, which is a much more efficient speed, and then you'll be getting about 1,300 miles of range. I was rather amused, they sent me the range figures, and it was a very precise 1,302 miles. I just imagine somebody getting 1,300 miles and they're 1 mile out of harbour and the boat stopping and going, well, hang on a minute, you promised me another 2. But yeah, it's about 1,300. Brilliant. That's a decent sized engine space, isn't it? We've got generators in here, of course. We've got another generator on that side, so twin jennies. And then water makers and air conditioning and all that kind of stuff is all tucked away in here as well. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to finish off out the back, because that area that we saw as we came onto the boat, on this particular yacht, this is a bit of storage in here, by the way. No, it isn't. I'll edit that out later. That is electronics. Now again, there's a lot of owner specification when you set these up. You can have this as a beach club if you want to. On this particular boat, it's been chosen to have this as another utility area. Now, of course, this is perfectly accessible even with this door shut. So this huge, massive clamshell door comes down here, and there's a door within the door. So when this is shut, you can still open the door and walk out onto here. But of course, you wouldn't want to do that if you're out at sea necessarily, which is why we had the other access that we came down to access this area in the first place. But yeah, this one's been set up, as I say, just to give a really practical space. Again, it's all about making the yacht as usable as possible, and they've certainly done that. And this, as you can imagine, you've got the big hinges here. This just powers down. You can see how this matches this, and that closes off the back of the boat when you're out and running. And that, I think, is about the size of that. I'm going to come over here out of the way. We're in early. People are still cleaning the boat at the minute, but we'll be able to get a really good tour of that one without anybody on board, other than obviously people doing the cleaning. So that's been fantastic. I just want to say massive thanks to Horizon for organising that. They've got me in ahead of schedule before the show opens, and that's been brilliant. It's been able to give you guys a really good look around the boat, and I'm really keen to hear your thoughts, because some of the ideas that have gone onto this I think are really interesting, and I think they'll really, really work for people, but I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are on those things. So massive thanks to Horizon Yachts, and as ever, we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.